Welcome to a new season of NFL Game Picks. But this week, we're not picking any games. We're going to give you guys some fantasy football tips. Today, I have Mr. Demetrius Gamble joining the crew today. And then we also have Christopher Wright returning for another season of picking games.
Round two, baby.
Yes, sir. And then we have our lovely crew behind. We have Nick Riley and Hanky Hazelton. But unfortunately, today you're not seeing them, but in the future you will. So, gentlemen, fantasy football, it's a fun time.
Yes.
Finally here, man.
Let's
it's been
go.
a long wait, bro. Jeez.
And a lot of fans are returning to the stadium, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But let's just get right into it. We're going to start off with the quarterbacks, probably the most pivotal position when it comes to fantasy football. Even though most leagues are PPR, you would say running back. But let's start with the quarterbacks. We're not going to go through our entire list, but we're going to show you guys all the picks that we selected. Obviously, number one, top three, I got to arguably say it's Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, or Kyler Murray. Like, those are the top three guys you should be picking right away.
Yeah, I agree. Lamar is fringy to me. I got Josh Allen replacing Lamar just because he had 6 games with 30-plus touchdowns. Or he had 6 games with 30 or more touchdowns. So he had a 6-game stretch with 30 or more touchdowns. So I like Josh Allen. He had an MVP-like season last year, y'all. So,
yeah. What about you, Chris?
I don't have Josh Allen 3. I have him 4. I have Russell Wilson 3rd.
That's a good one, too.
Then I have Brady.
Yeah.
Then I have my sleeper, which is Matt Stafford at 7. Or, I'm sorry, I had Lamar Jackson 6.
Okay.
Then I have Stafford. I think he's going to go off. Then I have Murray.
All right. Well, all right. So we're going to each have a must start, a sleeper, and a one to avoid. So I'll kick it off. Must start for me, even though I have him at 5, is Russell Wilson. I think he's just one of those dynamite type of players, man. Like, you cannot just go without having him on your team. If he's there late in the rounds, like probably 5th round or so, you take him right then and there. And especially if those top 3 guys are probably taken. What about you guys? Who's your must start?
Well, I'm going to choose the guy that I have so far in a lot of leagues, Lamar Jackson. I think he is going to have a good year as long as he doesn't get COVID. He keeps catching COVID, but
He might be immune from here on out, so we'll see.
yeah, that's what he says. He said he thinks it makes him stronger or something like that. He's like, I've beaten it twice. But who you picking?
Lamar, that's a good choice. You know, he had back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons, too.
Yeah, that too.
So he'll be a good one, but I'm going to agree with my boy Austin here. I got Russell Wilson, too, just because he got, 4 straight seasons with over 30 touchdowns. Like, their defense forces him to score a lot of points, so he's definitely a must-start if you get him.
Something that is like kind of like making me worry about Lamar Jackson is the loss of J.K. Dobbins that just happened recently. So
You might have to do more, man.
he's definitely going to get more of a workload, but I think it sets the offense back more than it does what's it called?
It'd be nice if you get a wide receiver, though.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely like the throwing part.
Yeah,
like the throwing part is
that's the only
setback.
thing.
Okay.
Gus-
Nah, go ahead.
Gus Edwards, though, he was a good workhorse before they drafted J.K. Dobbins, so it's sort of like a put up or shut up sort of season since they gave him money too. So.
Yeah, it definitely is, but I mean, man, they were having high hopes to carrying the ball a lot this season through J.K. Dobbins.
That's why they got rid of Ingram.
Yeah.
He didn't get a new deal yet, right?
No,
Jackson?
Oh, no. Lamar, he hasn't, no.
Okay, so sleeper. I want to see
Contract year, baby. Just saying.
I want to see who you have as a sleeper, DJ, in the quarterback position.
My sleeper, I got Ryan Fitzmagic,
Okay.
baby. That man, like, he's not a great, solid season quarterback. Yeah, Fitzmagic. Yeah, bro.
Come on, dude.
Oh, bro, he's a fantasy guru. Like, look at his stats over the last few seasons.
In your top 10? Where is he? Number 10?
I got
dude.
No, I got him outside. He's like 13, but
Okay. I thought you had him in your top 10.
no, he's 14. But he averaged 19 points in 7 straight games. At least 19 points in 7 straight games. So that's decent just in case. I mean, not necessarily a starter, but a good option to have on the bench, I feel like.
Nice. What about you, Chris?
I think he'll probably be like bottom 10 in the league of starting quarter. He probably won't even be a starter at the end of the year, bro.
Yeah,
Who's going to replace him? Taylor Heineke? Come on.
I don't know. Who else is there? Haskins?
No, Haskins
he's
is
in
Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Uh,
I don't know.
So who's your sleeper?
I already said it. Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford?
Yeah. I think he's gonna have a good year in a new spot.
Yeah,
He's got some
good.
I had him
weapons.
actually.
Yeah.
I had him
for
actually
sure.
pretty high ranked in mine. I had him at the 9th overall for me. I think there's high hopes of him in like LA with the Rams.
Yeah.
I think it's a new change of scenery. It's gonna be really good. But
Oh,
I have a few sleepers actually. It's pretty funny. I couldn't really decide, and like as I started, no, Tua just made my top 15. He's 13 for me.
Oh, 15. Oh,
He has a lot of
all right.
offensive weapons, but
He's
I'm not here to
he's
brag
one
about
of the
Tua.
only ones that'll be worse than Fitzpatrick.
Oh come on now.
No, just kidding. He'll be a little bit
I got
better.
Jameis at 15. I know you like that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, my sleeper is really torn between Daniel Jones of the Giants, Ryan Tannehill of the Titans, and then
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater of the Denver Broncos. Because last year they had to revamp their offense a lot,
Yeah.
and they're getting a lot of players back from injury like Noah Fant and Sutton.
Can't wait till we get into tight ends to talk about Fant. But yeah, I like those picks, man.
Yeah.
Some
I
pretty,
have
pretty
10 out of
solid
10.
ones.
I think he's gonna have a great year.
I was gonna
Yeah,
put him in my top like 15, but I was just like, there's just so many like I feel like a lot.
I think he's gonna
good
have a lot
QBs.
of fantasy points. I think they'll score a lot of touchdowns.
Definitely, it's
Push the
Yeah.
ball a little bit more. New weapon, Julio. Spread the offense a little bit.
Yeah, and then one quarterback to avoid. I put any Bears to whichever one's starting the season, avoid them. Okay, because there's gonna be a QB controversy, and I'm not gonna go with Andy Dalton. Justin Fields may be a good late pickup, but do not draft him.
Yeah.
Do not draft him.
I almost
whatsoever.
did. Almost did.
Of course, typical Bears fan, bro.
Yeah, I almost did.
But in all seriousness, I put Sam Darnold of the Carolina Panthers. I think he's gonna be decent, but not worthy enough to one draft really late or
Yeah.
two even pick up late in the season. But he can prove me wrong.
Okay.
Who you got?
Mine to avoid.
Uh,
I just had it and I forgot.
me too.
Oh, Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Jalen
Oh.
Hurts. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna live up to the hype. I think he's probably injury prone from what we kind of have seen,
Yeah.
and so I have him to avoid.
Gotta keep the Glizzies away from him. He'll start having stomach problems.
Yeah.
I want him to do good though. I hope he does
Nah.
good. But you never know. And my quarterback to avoid, sadly, I'm gonna go with Dak. Like he's been good.
Really?
Yeah, he's been good with he's averaged 22 and a half fantasy points since 2015. But I'm just thinking with all the weapons, they'll find a way to. I don't know. It's a gut feeling that tells me Dak
You don't think
Dak
the
isn't
Cowboys
going to
will
have
be
a good. No, they're not going to have a great year.
No.
No, not a good year. I give them a 10-7. That's around the Cowboy. Where there's a will, there's a way with Dallas. The history
that would have won the
repeats.
division last year.
Yeah, last year, but everybody improved in the division. Washington got better, so Saquon coming back healthy, possibly.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Saquon, we're gonna talk about running backs next. All right. So Chris, who are you in your top 3 for the running backs?
I think one might surprise you, but I have McCaffrey first. I have Derrick Henry second,
Okay.
and I have Alvin Kamara. I think Derrick Henry is you gotta have Kamara up there too. I
Yeah.
think Derrick Henry is gonna actually learn how to catch a pass here shortly and just be a monster again on the ground, anyways.
That's the one thing I was gonna say. Like
'Cause
Derrick
he's-
Henry that high is just like he's awesome at running the ball. Don't get me wrong. It's
He
just
can't catch.
the catching ability in a PPR league is so crucial. Like that's why you get backs like Alvin Kamara. That's why he's my number one. 'Cause
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara is literally catching balls left and right out of the backfield, and so is Christian McCaffrey. I have Derrick Henry at 4, but my third is Dalvin Cook because he's just all around beast.
Yeah.
Running, catching, he can do it all.
Yeah. We got the telekinesis thing going on right here, bro. I promise
heads
you.
together,
Yeah,
bro.
man, that's crazy. That's literally my top 3 too. So
Who's your sleeper for running
Sleeper?
back?
Chris Carson out of Seattle, and then I put another one.
I like
Maybe biased because I'm wearing a Dolphins stuff, right? But Miles Gaskin out of Miami.
oh, okay.
How about you?
In my top
Miles
10,
Gaskin.
I have Najee Harris is probably the most shocking. I think he's going to be a beast in his rookie season. He looked good in preseason.
Yeah, he looked pretty good, and I think Pittsburgh is going to run the ball through him.
They always
a lot.
do.
Like that's going to be one of the main focal points. That's why
And
a lot of
Ben's getting
people are
old.
not putting like Big Ben as big as as their
Yeah.
priorities.
Definitely.
He's
but-
getting old too, man.
Yeah.
But even then, like that offense is still going to be nasty. It's just having a solid running back. Like James Conner was pretty good in the absence of Le'Veon Bell, and then when he became like the guy,
Man, yeah.
he was doing decent, but not well enough to like bring up that team. So that was something that really did not help him. What about you? What are your sleepers?
My sleepers, I like Chris Carson, of course. That man right there.
I like Chris Carson too.
He's
yeah.
nice and
I had him last
fantasy-wise.
year.
Yeah, I had him last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, I
He was
had him
pretty
last
good.
year.
When he got hurt, it really screwed me up.
And before the trade, I had Darrell Henderson as my other sleeper because the Rams they're second in their rush attempts in the red zone. So possibly scoring a touchdown will definitely help you fantasy wise. But now I kind of got to give it to Sony Michel. So
You think so?
yeah,
Let's start.
I don't think he's gonna start, but I think he throughout
He's
the
more
season,
reliable.
Sony Michel will catch a lot of balls for you. He's really good out of the backfield. All right, who are you must start out of your top 15? Who are you starting without a doubt?
without a doubt.
Yeah, if you can get a chance to get two of these guys on your top 15, that's who you're getting.
I'm getting Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey, but Christian McCaffrey obviously first, but I almost never get the first pick,
Yeah.
so he's out of there.
What about you, Chris?
I mean, just to throw another name in the mix, I wouldn't sleep on Aaron Jones, even though
Okay.
I'm a Bears fan.
I have him pretty ranked high. I have him at 6, which I think is
I have him fourth.
solid ranking. Yeah, like you
got
can't go
him
wrong with
6.
Aaron
Yeah.
Jones being within the top 6 guys that are staking. Like I put a cap there for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, for my most starts, I'm sticking in the AFC North. I have Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon. So that's 2 AFC North guys that are just I think
like
going to be
Joe
running the
Mixon,
hell
too.
out of the ball.
Especially if you can get him later on.
I think Joe Mixon you can get pretty late. I have him at 11, so that's not bad.
I had him last year and he was hurt the whole year. So
Yeah, last year was a bad year for him. But if he can return to the form of like his 2019
I
season,
feel like I'm never going to have a night. He's not even in my top 10. I feel like I'm just scarred
yeah.
from him
Well,
screwing
he
me.
didn't make my top 10, but he was right after at 11.
Okay.
So
I'm assuming that's your avoid. Is that your
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. He only played like 2 games last year.
I mean, he got hurt. What are you gonna do?
It sucked. I don't know. He was like the keeper that I chose from because it was like somebody else's team I took over, and I chose him too. It's like I wasted it.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what happened to me like
I
this
was
past weekend
pissed.
in the final preseason game. J.K. Dobbins gets hurt, and he was like my second running back that I drafted. And it's just like, man, like that's the one thing I hate about doing fantasy football before the preseason ends. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, there's those freak accidents that happen on the last game when they shouldn't even be freaking playing, but whatever.
Or they try to bring somebody else in. Yep, I'm a last week guy. You
Yeah,
gotta
wait till
last week.
to make the
everybody.
rosters and stuff, you know.
Did you watch the game
Which one?
or he got hurt?
No, but I saw the clip when he got it.
Was it like starting offensive line or was it like third string?
It wasn't even that. It's that he got out of the backfield and he like one guy was hitting him low and then the other guy was hitting him from the side, and basically what happened is his leg bent that way when it's supposed to just bend this way. But yeah, so you're avoiding Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Who are you avoiding?
Melvin Gordon, man. I don't even think he's starting, to tell you the truth. Well,
Right?
yeah, they're not expecting him to start. Well, according to all the professional insiders and stuff, and just with it just seems like he's lazy almost. Like watching the Broncos.
Lazy, bro?
He had a decent year that year. That's why I'm surprised. He didn't even make my list. I totally forgot about him and the
Yeah.
Denver Broncos.
Well, they have like 3 running backs that'll probably get playing time at the Broncos.
It's going to be like a running back by committee for them, but
Yeah.
the rest of their offensive weapons are pretty decent. My avoids are Mike Davis out of Atlanta. I just think they're not going to really stick to the running game this year. It's going to be all just in Matt Ryan's hands, trying to get a Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley all the game.
Typical Atlanta fashion.
Yeah.
And then James Conner in Arizona. I wouldn't say similar fashion, but they're definitely going to be throwing the ball a lot more. So just he's going to be a weapon there for them, but just not in the way you expect. So we're going to go to Green Bay. I have number 1, Devontae Adams as our wide receiver. Who do you guys have at number 1 for wide receiver?
Same.
Yeah?
So
Yeah.
you got to.
Yeah.
You got to go with the man who averaged the most fantasy points last year.
And
Like, you be crazy not to go with
Who
that
do you
guy.
have 2 though?
It's Stephon Diggs. It's literally
Wow.
my
okay.
top
You got it.
5 is like you can swap them all around after 2.
Yeah.
It's Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, and DeAndre Hopkins. Literally 2 to 5, you can like literally put them in any spot and it will be just the same thing. Because this is not rankings of who you're saying is the best wide receiver.
Yeah.
You're saying who's gonna get you the most points in fantasy, and those top 5 guys got the most points as wide receivers last year. And there's obviously change like Justin Jefferson, 6. He's a reigning rookie of the year.
Yeah. I have A.J. Brown making my top 5. I have Stephon Diggs dropping to 7, but I mean, like, there's a lot of good wide receivers in the NFL right now.
Nobody mentioned D-Hop either. That's
I have D-Hop at 5. That's
I have him too.
solid.
I think do you follow him on any social media or anything? You
No.
seen his TikToks?
No,
Dude seems confident, bro. Like, plus they got, didn't they get,
they got A.J. Green
A.J.
out of
Green,
Cincinnati.
yeah.
that's going to be a huge factor.
Yeah.
And
That's
he could be a possible sleeper.
Yeah, possible.
He's coming back from injury, so it's unfortunate for him. But luckily, he's on a team that has pretty good weapons, and he has a good quarterback to throw it to him. So
And they still
Definitely gonna spread
have
it around.
Larry. Larry.
Larry's contemplating. He might make a mid-season comeback. We never know. All right. So who do you have in your top 3 or 5?
My top 3: Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, and Stephon Diggs. But I could switch D-Hop with either, like you said, your 2 through 5 is interchangeable.
Literally, yeah, exactly. Like it's literally like you say you solidified one, Devontae Adams. We all had the same one.
Yeah.
Right? And then literally after that,
A
it's
lot
just
of
like
people
it
been
could be
saying
whatever.
Tyreek Hill. A lot of people. I don't
know. The only thing that keeps me from having Tyreek Hill as a number 1 is literally the size factor. Like he's a demon on the field. He can outrun anyone. But then when it comes down to his size, you're not gonna get those big like red zone man versus man.
but he's fast. So he
That's
runs quick.
what you got Travis Kelce for too.
Yeah.
So
He still scores a lot of touchdowns.
yeah, he definitely.
Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't know. All right, 2 must starts. I have Stephon Diggs and Terry McLaurin. I think Scary Terry is gonna have a pretty good season with Fitzpatrick.
Throwing.
Dude, he was doing
With
great when he was
Fitzpatrick
playing
throwing
with the Dolphins.
20+ interceptions if he plays.
To 30-something TDs, and 10 of them is probably going to be
At
to Terry
least.
McLaurin. So
Outside of Adams, I must start D-Hop and Keenan Allen.
okay,
Keenan Allen, that man is a monster.
My boy, Allen Robinson. No matter who's throwing him the ball this year, for sure. Got to draft it. I drafted him probably too high. I took him in the 3rd round, I think.
I think that's too high. He's not even on my
But-
top 15, but he's definitely like,
What?
Yeah, he's,
Wow.
because of the quarterback situation.
Man.
No,
But
man.
still, though, he had
He's
100.
He's gonna be a good receiver. He's gonna get those yards and stuff. But
Bro,
it's just
he had 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns with Trubisky being quarterback, bro.
all right. And what did Trubisky do against your Bears preseason?
Preseason, bro. What did the Bears do to the Dolphins preseason?
What the dirt stringers?
Made you leave.
What?
The third stringers.
Made him leave the restaurant early. That's what they did, bro.
But,
In the
Made him leave
first
the
half.
restaurant. You were there, bro.
but
Leave early.
yeah. But fantasy-wise, though, I really do like Allen Robinson. I'm surprised you don't have him in your top 15.
It's merely because of the whole quarterback factor. It's just I don't see it happening like benefiting them. So that's one of the biggest problems.
I don't know. I feel like you're kind of hating right now, bro, because Andy Dalton had similar stats to Dak Prescott before Prescott went down with injury last year. And I think Justin Fields will probably take over halfway through and be good.
He definitely gets his targets.
Though?
Well, fantasy,
Hopefully.
we really, fantasy purposes, we don't care if he wins or loses, but
Yeah.
he definitely gets his targets. So Allen Robinson, 150 targets the last 2 seasons, like
He's been
per
the only
season.
good wide receiver we've had, pretty much.
Yeah, so I like that one.
I don't know.
But
To each his own, man. You know?
yeah. Speaking of, my
Yeah.
avoid is just jumping out at me, bro. I got to get this out of there. Mike Evans is a guy that I'm avoiding.
Avoiding?
Yes.
I had
He's
him
a-
last year, and when he played, he was decent, but he gets hurt a lot. Yeah.
That and then the spread of spread the wealth. Like Brady definitely gonna have to choose his targets.
He
And,
does play favorites sometimes, though, bro.
Yeah,
So
I've
if
seen
he
You
it.
gets,
saw what happened when Mike Evans was healthy. Brady like literally target him on 3 consecutive passes in the red zone. Like he was just like, I'm giving you the ball.
He's just throwing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good red zone target, but I mean, as
I
far
have
as
Chris
throughout,
Godwin ahead of him though.
I definitely do too.
I have Mike Evans at 8 and then Chris Godwin at 14. I was gonna put them closer together, but I was just like, man, like it's funny because I have it like as a sandwich, right? So like I have Mike Evans, AJ Brown, and then Julio Jones and Chris Godwin. So it's just like, just that those 2 teams are gonna have like.
Bro,
big.
you gotta put some respect to Julio, man. What are you?
I got him pretty down there too.
Yeah, man.
This season,
I think he'll have a good year.
He's gonna have a good year, but I mean, top
AJ
13
Brown,
receivers.
It's
He's
hard.
for sure gonna be up there. So
Yeah.
all right, sleeper. I have Adam Thielen out of Minnesota, which I don't really think is a sleeper, but he didn't make my top 15. And then another biased pick, but Albert Wilson. I think he's too shifty. I think he's gonna get a lot of points. When he was healthy 2 years ago with the Dolphins, he was outstanding. So if he can replicate that, then definite sleeper that you can get really late.
I got one of your boys out of UCF, Gabe Davis. That's one of my sleepers.
I saw that. Yeah. I like Gabe Davis.
I like him in the little slot role for Buffalo. I think they're gonna.
He's bigger too, so he'll play a little bit on the outside for sure.
I like that one.
Did you say your sleepers?
Well, nah, but it's another Bear.
Okay.
I have Darnell Mooney.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Well, it's funny, man.
He's been getting hyped up a lot but it's the Bears saying it, obviously. But like, he's been talked about on ESPN like once or twice. He's pretty fast going into his second year. Yeah. So, plus, like I'm saying, you're hating on the quarterbacks.
Well,
bro.
it's funny.
Our third string quarterback is Nick Foles, bro. Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles, bro. We got a good quarterback.
For Gardner Minshew. That would have been great. You guys would have had a quarterback situation solved right away. But no, in all seriousness, it's funny that you said. Traded. It's really funny that you said Darnell Mooney because I have him on my avoid.
What?
Yes.
Because you're a hater, dude.
No, I mean, Allen Robinson's going to get the ball.
Bro, you just had Allen Robinson like 15th or something like that.
Yeah, but for the Bears,
now
he's going to get the ball. For the Bears, he's going to get the ball.
Yeah, we've been saying that. That's right. I'm agreeing with you. That's why you got to bump him up.
Okay.
Come on, man.
And Nelson Aguilar out of New England.
Bro, every time I hear his name, I think about that. On the news report,
I was catching babies out of the fire.
Unlike Aguilar. Dude, that shit's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Who you
Oh yeah.
Man, Aguilar is definitely one. But one of the guys that you're high on, bro, DK Metcalf.
Okay, you're avoiding DK?
Yeah, man.
I love DK.
Okay, do you think then Tyler Lockett's going to be good?
Yeah, well,
he is good.
Well, last year he didn't. So I feel like they'll have a little flippity flop rolls right there. And then I put down a little interesting stat that DK Metcalf was 17th in receptions. Like, for him to be a top 10 receiver and to finish outside of the top 15 of receptions and not getting targeted that much. Well, I mean, obviously he targeted him that much, but
he's a unit.
Yeah, he's definitely a freak of a man. I definitely wouldn't.
I like DK. He was my keeper from last year, so I have him again this year.
That's a solid guy to have. All right, now speaking of big boys, we're gonna go over to the Tightends unit. And if you do not have these 3 in your top 3 at least, I don't know what football you're watching. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Darren Waller.
Yes, sir.
Interchangeable 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter. Those are solidified the top 3 guys you want to get.
That's how I have it in that order.
And then, following him, I have Mark Andrews, which I think
me too.
He's up there. And then it kind of falls off a little bit, but the rest of the list up to 10 is like really good tight ends, honestly. But who would you pick out of anyone in the top 15 that you have? Who would you pick, like, if you had to? Like, you're stuck in a pinch, and you obviously missed out on the top 5.
Well, I gambled. I took Kyle Pitts a lot this year.
Okay.
I took him, I think, twice in both my leagues.
Where do you have him ranked as?
6.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's high.
But I like T.J. Hawkinson.
I got him there, too, at 6.
You have him at 6, too?
Yeah. Or no, I don't got him at 6. Oh, yeah, I do. I got him at 6.
Yeah.
6.
I think Hawkinson's proven, and I think what's his name's not gonna have that many targets out there in Detroit, so I think he'll catch a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too high on Kyle Pitts just because, one, he's a rookie. So, like, but then there's, like, a lot of times in fantasy, like, Saquon Barkley's rookie year, like, by accident, I drafted him in the first round.
By accident?
Yeah. Big fantasy guy, right? But then, I mean, he did really good that season.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And, like, I had McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley in the same team, bro. It was unstoppable. Like, it was crazy. So, like, drafting, like, a rookie offensive playmaker is
When's the last time a
gamble.
tight end was taken that high in a draft? When was the last time a tight end got drafted that high?
They were saying it too. Oh man,
Those early 2000s.
I want to say like Antonio Gates or somebody like that. Like it was somebody.
So like a while ago,
Yeah,
right?
it was a minute ago.
That's what I'm saying.
But
so
he's a freak of nature too.
I think he's worth the take. If everybody else is gone and you're like need a tight end, might as well gamble. You could get one of these other guys later if you really need to.
And truth be told, it really don't matter. Like after the tight end 1 through 4. It's like a 4% drop off. So if you don't get one of the tight ends, it's better to just draft one late.
Yeah, you might as well just take another wide receiver.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, must start. I have Robert Tonyan. I think I have him ranked as 6, but I think he's really good in getting Aaron Rodgers the ball there. He's really good friends with George Kittle. They trained a lot during the offseason, so I'm pretty sure he's picking up some of his game, which makes him probably a better tight end at the end of the day.
You think he'll have more or less than 10 touchdowns?
I think he's going to be like right at 10. Like, I think 10 will be like a perfect number.
8.
But everything's different this year because it's 17 games. So it's
everything's getting boosted, yeah.
Like, they're speculating some quarterbacks may throw for 6,000 yards, which is mind-boggling.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's gonna suck is like all the stats are gonna be like slighted now, you know.
Well, that's like they're all gonna say like different arrows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know, but like all the records are probably gonna get broken after a while just because there's a whole nother game.
If you're a rookie coming into a game now, you're more than likely gonna beat a lot of records.
Yeah, especially just like team records and stuff like that. But it is what it is. I have Cole Kmet 9 and Gronk rounding out my top 10.
Okay.
If Gronk can stay healthy.
Okay.
Then, they got some weapon or tight end. They loaded down there at Tampa at tight end position, too.
O.J. Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They loaded.
But, I don't know. I like Gronk, and so does Brady in the end zone. So
they connected twice in the Super Bowl, which was pretty good. Like, was totally expected for that to happen. So that's
love it.
Yeah.
Want to party with Gronk?
Bro, definitely. It looks like he knows how to live life.
Yeah. Looks like a fun guy. For sure.
Well, DJ catches up on some water. You ready for your must-start tight end?
I must start tight end.
Must start.
I'm going with Darren Waller.
Yeah.
He's a lock because it looked like him and Derek Carr had some good chemistry last year, and I expect the Raiders to play from behind this year. So he's an integral part of their passing game. So if you can get him, I definitely start him.
All right, let's move on to our sleepers. I have 2 here. I have Gerald Everett of Seattle. I think Russell's just going to get him the ball a lot.
That's a real good.
And then Eric Ebron out of Pittsburgh. I would normally have him higher on this list, but like Chris said, like the regression of Ben, you can see it, but he's still going to get him the ball. He loves getting it to those big guys. So definitely Eric Ebron is probably a must-have, and you can get him super late. So don't worry about worrying about picking him up.
He might not even get drafted in some leagues.
Definitely. I got 2 of them, too. One of them, I'll go with Jonnu Smith out of New England.
I took him late.
Yeah, he's a more athletic out of him and Hunter Henry. So
Hunter Henry's hurt.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. He's definitely hurt. So
that's mine to avoid, if that counts.
Yeah, you could say that.
But I don't think he's out the whole year though.
Yeah.
If you besides that, whoever's like not injured, who else would you avoid?
I didn't write down one to
Okay,
avoid. Another one. I only had Hunter Henry.
I'll give you a hint what mine is.
Yeah.
You guess what team he's from?
The Bears.
Yes.
Hater,
Jimmy Graham. How am I hating you? You went to the U. Like, I can't be hating on someone who went to the freaking U, dude. So,
he's not even our starting tight end. So why would you draft
no,
a backup tight end?
avoiding him.
Well, why would you do it in the first place?
There's no way.
Like, dude, guys, stay away from him. Like, don't draft him.
All right.
That's the whole point of the
Don't
avoid.
draft non-starters is what Austin's advice is.
Yeah, some people may be like, yo, Jimmy Graham, he still maybe got it. No.
No, I can see your point. He used to be a good red zone target, but he's
Name
getting,
only. He's good in name only now.
I think Cole Kmet's definitely taken over, and he'll be in a lot of red zone situations more.
I got a sleeper that's a spicy one for you.
Okay.
Oh,
Picante.
Yeah, he plays in a chilly environment though. Noah Fant.
Okay.
To avoid?
Denver. Yeah, I would avoid him because they got a plethora of weapons to spread the ball to, and Teddy Bridgewater definitely plays it safe, so he's not gonna be risking it. And I don't know. I just feel like the few times they do try to pass the ball, like we were saying, they're running by committee earlier, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see him.
I have some faith in Teddy Two Gloves getting him the ball. I have him at 9, dude. I think.
What'd you call him?
Teddy Two Gloves.
You never heard that one?
I've never heard that.
You guys live under a rock, man.
I like that one though. I have to write it down.
But yeah, in all seriousness though, I have Hayden Hurst from Atlanta to avoid. That's one
That's a good one
really
too.
like. He hasn't done well since he's been drafted high from the Ravens. So
Not only that, you got the freak of nature replacement.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be a starter either.
So
Yeah.
So
he's definitely that's a good one.
all right, now gotta speak on
defense.
defenses.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
Chris, give me your top 10 defenses.
All of them?
Yeah, just run through it.
All right. Steelers, Rams, football team, Bucks, 49ers, Colts, Bills, Bears, Dolphins, Chiefs.
Hey, you got the Dolphins right out of the boy. All right, what about you, DJ?
All right. We got the Rams, Ravens, the football team, Tampa Bay,
Yeah.
Steelers, 49ers, Colts, Bills,
No Bears.
Pats, Saints, Dolphins, Browns. I think that's 10. That's 10,
All
right?
right, we have a few consistencies.
You have the
here.
Browns in there?
Yeah.
Browns
That's a
are
good.
pretty
That's
decent.
one of my sleepers.
I would have put them as a sleeper, but I got something else. But yeah, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1, Ravens 2, Dolphins 3, Rams 4,
Dolphins
Washington
3.
5. They were the number 1 scoring defense last year. You're serious?
That's
And I
true,
think they
that's
improved
true.
on their defense. So I think it's gonna be a whole different thing.
I had the
Non-biased.
Dolphins last year, actually.
Yeah, and I bet they got you a lot of points,
They're
right?
pretty good.
Yeah.
Can't lie. I don't-
All right, 5, Washington football team, 6, Indianapolis Colts, 7, San Francisco 49ers, 8, Buffalo Bills, 9, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then 10, New England Patriots. So I think the New England Patriots are going to be a
That's a
big
good
step
one.
up. They're getting a lot of big guys
Plays
coming back.
back, yeah.
Coming back
And then
too,
they went crazy in the offseason. So I think they're going to be a tough defense. Must start for me is Miami, just because I love the Dolphins. But seriously, sleeper, we have the Green Bay Packers. Lambeau Field is really hard to play in, and you have an extra game there.
Yeah.
But not this year. They don't have an extra game this year, but even then, it's so hard to play there.
Yeah.
And then to avoid, New York Jets, just because they're the Jets.
All right. Well, my must start, if you can get them, Tampa Bay. They have the easiest schedule in the NFL. So, I mean, you got a cupcake schedule by default. That should do nothing but help your defense. And avoid is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have one of the hardest schedules. They have the hardest schedule in the NFL. And all the reasons we pointed out about Big Ben earlier and
They'll
their
be on the field a
offense
lot.
setting them back. So, I don't know. And my sleeper is the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know how y'all feel about them, but I think Jamal Adams coming back healthy. That'll
New
be
contract.
new contract, motivated to show
Highest
something.
paid safety
and all that
ever.
stuff too. So it's pretty big for them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Bobby Wagner is probably the best linebacker in football.
definitely one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I like the Seahawks.
All right. Who do you got? Sleeper, must start, and avoid.
Well, I have the Chiefs sneaking into 10, so they're one of my sleepers since
Okay.
you guys mentioned a few of the other ones. And to avoid, I put the Lions. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, sorry. Doug. And who is your must start?
My must start is actually the Washington football team.
Okay.
Okay, young
I like Chase
Bucks.
Young. Another freak of nature, Chase Young.
Yeah,
I like their defense.
I like their
I like their
defense.
front four.
Their front seven is nice.
It's literally their rushing. Like if they can get pressure on the quarterback, their
Yeah,
defense is pretty
I think
much
they'll get a lot of
unstoppable.
sacks.
Yeah. Like they gave Tom Brady a run for his money in the playoffs, so that's definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And now, last but not least, probably the most vital position in fantasy football, we have the kickers. Yes, the most socially awkward guys on the team, but the guys who are going to probably save your butt in fantasy football. This one we can also list off our top 10. I'll start this one off. I have Justin Tucker out of Baltimore, Harrison Butker out of KC, Greg Zuerlein out of Dallas, Jason Sanders out of Miami, Younghoe Koo out of Atlanta, Rodrigo Blankenship out of Indianapolis, Matt Prater out of Arizona, Robbie Gould out of San Francisco, Mason Crosby out of Green Bay, and then Ryan Suckup at 10 out of Tampa Bay.
Okay. We got some of the same players, but you got one that sounded, or I don't have the Jacksonville guy in there.
Okay. I don't have Josh Lamb as well. That's one of my actual voids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, my top 10 goes Justin Tucker, old reliable.
Mm-hmm.
You got Rodrigo Blankenship.
Sir.
Greg Zuerlein. I'm sorry.
Greg the leg, baby.
Yeah, and that pains me to say because he's a Cowboys fan. Or he's a Cowboys.
Yeah.
He's a Cowboys player. Younghoe Koo out of Atlanta. Tyler Bass in Buffalo. Will Lutz from the Big Easy. I got Matt Prater. Jason Sanders, your boy from Miami.
Go, baby.
Robbie Gould from San Fran, and Harrison Butker from KC.
Yeah, I got pretty much all the same people, honestly, so I'm not going to name them all again. But, yeah, any of these kickers are solid picks.
Yeah.
Always, Robbie Gould. Wish the Bears never got rid of him or let him walk because they've had terrible kickers ever since.
So, okay, when you guys...
playoff game, too, right? Yeah.
Double doinker, dude.
Yeah, Cody Parkey, the boy. But in all seriousness, what do you guys look for when you're looking at these kickers? Are you looking for guys who are going to get a lot of field goals, which are like 3 points, or extra points, and like they're on teams that are going to be scoring a lot, like the Chiefs?
I look for a kicker that if Justin Tucker's not there because he's just unreliable, I look for a team that has to come from behind a lot, like Atlanta. They have to score a lot or they have to be in a shootout. Mm-hmm. A team with an average, mediocre offense to where they're going to have to settle for the field goals. That's something I look for in a kicker.
Yeah, that's definitely something I look for too. And like, it's really hard trying to find that balance. It's like, are you looking for guys who are going to be just kicking a lot of flat out field goals? Or are you looking for guys who, they're going to kick a lot of field goals, but they're also going to be hitting a lot of extra points and all that stuff. So that's definitely something to look forward to. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, that's why it's always easy to take Butker just in case. He kicks a lot of extra points. And when he comes in, he's usually pretty good. So
you're solid with him getting probably about like 5 points a game at the very least.
Automatic.
Yeah. He's gonna kick like at least 3 field goal or extra points a game at least probably.
Okay, now let's list off our must starts, sleepers, and avoid. So I'll start it with Michael Badgley out of the Los Angeles Chargers. He didn't make my top 10, but I think if you're in a deep league, 12 people, Michael Badgley is probably like one of those guys. If you get him really late, he's a good pickup. Another one is a sleeper in Brandon McManus out of Denver. I mean, you can't go wrong with him at all. And then Josh Lamb out of Jacksonville. I think he's just not in the best offensive system right now for him to score a lot of points for you in fantasy. That's pretty much it.
That's you gotta have Justin Tucker. I don't know how many times Justin Tucker's the best.
I'm gonna take him in the 8th round later, just so you don't get him.
I'm gonna take him in the 5th round.
All right, keep going.
Sleeper, I got
number 1 overall, baby.
He make breaking news. Kicking number 1 overall.
I'll waste that pick.
Right. But a sleeper, I like Matt Prater in Arizona. I think he's gonna.
He's not in Arizona anymore.
Yeah, he's in Arizona now.
He was in Detroit all of that time.
I thought he was in Detroit.
No, he was in Detroit. Now he's in Arizona.
So he's going on a good offense.
Good
very offense. Similar to Justin Tucker and Harrison Butker. That
are
going to be scoring a lot. And like another reason I have Jason Sanders high is like not even biased. It's just like, one, he's very accurate, and two, he's probably going to be like kicking a lot of field goals because I think, one, the defense is going to be like putting them in positions. Even like if the offense stalls, they're going to be in a good defense field position to kick a lot of field goals. So,
fun fact for you, he finished first as the overall kicker last year in fantasy.
Sanders?
Yeah.
I thought it was Koo.
No, Koo was close.
Yeah, he finished first.
I like Koo.
Yeah. I like saying his name, Young Ho Koo. You know?
You saw his cleats got stolen in his Jeep?
Yeah, and he was just like, I just want my cleats. But anything else you guys want to mention about fantasy that we probably didn't?
Well, I didn't do my kicker to avoid.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Sir.
It's Cody Parkey. He played for Cleveland last year, so he might still be there. I don't know if he is. Probably shouldn't be in the NFL because he's trash. But
you're funny.
Don't take Parkey.
I don't know what happened. He was pretty good with the Dolphins.
Well, not with the Bears.
Yeah.
So
that's a Windy City for you.
Sure.
Only thing I would say though, piggybacking off what you're talking about, I would get a running back early and often. If you can get a running back early and often,
one of the good ones.
Yeah,
I'm taking a running back first pick, no matter what.
Yeah, no, in PPR leagues, like you're taking those guys like Alvin Kamara and so on who get the ball right out of the backfield like half the time. So that's definitely
like top 10 picks probably have to be running backs. Outside of one person who's going to take Devontae Adams probably within the top 10.
And then a crazy person's going to either take
Tyreek Hill maybe. When people
I seen some weird drafts that a guy in the first round has the last pick, right?
I got Lamar
He takes Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson back to back. And he's like,
you can't start two quarterbacks.
Well, he's like, I have the two best quarterbacks in the league. People send me trades, so then he got a bunch of skill position players for it. But like, it's so like
that's extra risky.
Yeah. What if nobody were like, you know what, keep him?
Have fun having the two best ones on your bench.
Yeah.
So
I got Lamar in like the 9th round. Honestly, I don't think people are taking him that high.
Yeah, no, you can.
That's
but
crazy.
The second those QBs start flying, you gotta go after him.
Yeah, you definitely.
But in all honesty, what DJ said, and both of you guys, just go after those running backs really early.
Yeah.
And then next, probably target either one of the best wide receivers or tight ends you can get.
Probably wide receiver.
I would definitely.
Or another running back.
Well, I mean,
if there's still one on the board, you can't go wrong with two good running backs.
Oh, of course. No, if you have two solid running backs, that's perfect. But then, I mean, for me, I like doing like, okay,
there's a bunch of good wide receivers too. You know what I'm saying?
I got a running back, and then depending on my draft pick, if I'm a later pick, I'm definitely picking a wide receiver right after and like one of the top ones. And then following it up with like the best tight end I can get at that time because those are going to be my 3 offensive weapons for the majority of the season.
Yeah.
So
if I can't get one of the best tight ends, there's no need to frantic. Just keep that in mind, people. There's no need to frantic if you don't get one of the best ones.
Yeah, you'll find some along the way because, like we mentioned, the top 5 tight ends, those are going to be probably top 5 guys taking off. But besides that, you can get a lot of good people. I mean, you can get Jonnu Smith, where I had at 13. So, like, that's something that, you can get him way later, and he's probably going to produce a lot, especially since the Patriots like that 2 tight end set.
And what's his name's hurt, too. Hunter Henry,
I think, but he has, like, not a crazy injury that's going to hold him out all season.
I liked Johnny last year for the Titans. I think they'll miss him.
Yeah, well, they got Julio now.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Right. Well, this is the crew for NFL game picks of the 2020-2021 season. Well, 21-2022 season.
Jeez, come on, man.
Come on, dude. Get it together. But, yeah, this is going to be what you're going to see every week from the rest of us. And I hope you enjoyed watching our fantasy football episode. So tune in next week for week 1. Where we're going to have lots of fun, okay? So, see you guys.
Later.